Hello, in this video, I'm going to be talking about survivor's guilt. What is it? How can you cope with it? And what should you do about it? Before I go on, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to our channel. We put out about 3 videos a week, so there's always something new to watch. So survivor's guilt is an emotional response to having survived an event in life, like breast cancer. And basically, it's this heavy feeling that we have when we've survived something that other people haven't. Now, those might be people in your family. It might be your mother or a sister. It might be your daughter, a cousin, a niece, or an aunt. But it can also be people that you hear about in your neighborhood or who perhaps you've met during the course of your own treatment. And there's this heavy sense and curiosity and puzzlement and bewilderment about why did I survive and they didn't. And this can be, we see this a lot in people, even though a lot of people don't talk about it. So if there's part of you that's experiencing distress, that you're doing well, that your cancer hasn't recurred, that you are going to survive, it may be because you're having this feeling about surviving and feeling guilty because of that. We also see this in people who have genetic testing and somebody in their family has an inherited mutation and the person that I'm talking to doesn't. And that can lead also to some guilt. There are things that the medical profession does that can make survivor's guilt worse. We can say things like, well, you have a good kind of cancer, which, as you may know from watching our other videos, there is no good kind of cancer, but you may be told you're lucky. You may be told by your medical team or people in your community, you're lucky because your lymph nodes were negative, or because your tumor is estrogen receptor positive, or it was caught early. And all of these things can lead to guilt. Why me? Why did I do okay? Why am I free of disease? And this other person, somebody really wonderful who did everything right, who didn't ask to bring this on herself, why are they going through this recurrence? Why are they about to die from breast cancer? We see this a lot with older people when they look at the outcome and the journey of younger people. Somebody who's in their 30s may evoke feelings of guilt in somebody who's older and who's had their children and who feels like they've lived a good life. Looking at other people who are younger can bring out a lot of survivor's guilt. So I just want to frame what might bring that about and the different things that can make it worse from the point of view of what you hear, either from your medical team or from other people. So what can you do to manage it? I think the first thing is to name it. To name that this is survivor guilt. Oh, this isn't that uncommon, to know that you're not alone. The other thing that's important to do is to separate responsibility from outcome. So to ask yourself, are you truly responsible for your good prognosis, your outcome, compared to, are you responsible for another person's poor outcome or unfavorable outcome? So we like to feel really powerful, and there's a certain amount of magical thinking that if we're doing well, another person's going to do poorly. And the rational mind would say that's not true, but the emotional mind might fall prey to that. And examining your thought process and really subjecting your thoughts to inquiry, is this true? Is it absolutely true? And you'll probably find that it's not true. It's really unlikely that your doing well is contributing to somebody else's journey being different from yours. Another thing you can do is find other people to talk about with this. It's not a bad thing to talk with your medical team and say, I understand the intention of telling me I'm lucky or have a good prognosis is to make me feel fortunate and to help me feel optimistic. The impact that it's having on me is thus and such. I'm finding myself burdened by survivor's guilt when I go get my treatment. So separating the impact of what they say from their intent and assuming positive intent. Why would a medical provider say you're lucky? Well, they do it because really they're fortunate not to have a difficult conversation with you about a poor prognosis. And also, you probably lighten their day. They're going to get to take care of you for many years. But the impact it's had on you may be to trigger survivor's guilt, especially if your companion, somebody sitting in the chair next to you during your treatment, is not doing as well. There are other things that you can do, practicing self-compassion, saying things to yourself like, of course I'm feeling bad for this person I know. Of course I wish things had gone better for this person I love, my sister, my child, my cousin. And I'm going through my own journey. What they went through doesn't take away from my own journey. And similarly, I could not have had an impact on theirs. Writing in a journal can be helpful, talking with other people in a support group, validating your own feelings. There really is no good cancer. There's a good prognosis and there's a not as good prognosis. But these sorts of things, self-talk and talking with others, can be really helpful. Finally, something that might be helpful is to write a letter to the person you've lost, whether it's somebody you barely know in the treatment center or somebody you've known for a long time, expressing your love and expressing your gratitude for having known them. There are very healing rituals like that. And if you haven't considered that, it's something to think about. Obviously, you don't have to send them. You can tear them up or burn them or just keep them in your journal, because they do reflect your heartfelt feelings of loss and love. I hope this has been helpful. I know this is a heavy topic. Drop a comment or question below. While we can't give specific advice, we can answer commonly asked questions and tell you about things that other people have generally found helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.